No more Taylor Swift music on TikTok? Yeah, but also if you use music from any of these artists in your TikToks, your videos are about to be muted because Universal Music Group, the label of all these artists, is going to pull all their songs from the TikTok music library. I'm not going to read the letter with all the details. You can do a simple Google search and find all the articles written about it and read this letter for yourself. But I do want to know, what does TikTok look like without music, without popular sounds? As a Swiftie myself, I personally love scrolling through TikTok and being on Swift Talk and seeing all the fun TikToks with Taylor Swift's music and of course all the other popular sounds on TikTok. I don't really use sounds myself. That's not the type of content that I do, but I do know it's a huge part of TikTok. We know TikTok has been pushing for longer content. We also know you can't use popular sounds for over 1 minute videos, which is what people are posting a lot of to be able to monetize in the creativity program beta. But we also know that short form content is still very present and very loved on TikTok. Look at all of the CapCut templates that use popular sounds too. So what happens when a huge chunk of the music library is gone? Does that mean people will not be posting as often? Does it also mean that people will then flock to other platforms where the music is still available to use? Personally, I think TikTok has no choice but to come to an agreement with Universal Music Group because music is such a big part of the platform and it would look and sound very different without it. If you read this letter for yourself, you'll see there's some pretty harsh accusations in there. So who knows how long it's going to take for them to come to an agreement. And the contract expires tonight. So as of tomorrow, February 1st, we will probably see a bunch of videos on our FYP with no sounds to them because once a song is removed from the music library, the entire video that used that sound is muted. So your videos where you're talking into the camera like I'm doing right now, and if you added a background sound to it, the whole thing will be muted because you can't separate the sound audio from the talking audio if you added a background sound to it, which is why I've been saying since 2021, because this is not a new issue. We've had sounds muted before, obviously not in this large of a scale, but I have been telling people since 2021, if you're doing a talking head, if you talk to the camera, don't add a background sound because you could potentially, eventually, because of licensing issues, have that entire video muted. Now, I'm curious, does this change or would it affect your TikTok experience if all of these songs were removed from the music library, if TikTok doesn't come to an agreement with Universal Music Group? I'm curious what you think is going to happen and what you think of all this, so let's talk about it in the comments.